After a long and particularly harsh winter, all of Britain reveled in the merriments of spring, and the royal family prepared to celebrate the Princess Victoria's 17th birthday. International invitations had been sent out months before, and the response was an overwhelming success, especially from the royal family of Germany.
We are approaching the gates. Now remember, Albert, I'm here to win the hand of the princess. As prince and your older brother, I need your help. Now, let's review. If I should say something funny,
Ernst, we've been through this 100 times. I will laugh.
and when I recite my poetry,
I will smile.
and when I ask her to dance,
I will nod in approval. Look, have you ever considered the possibility that she just may not like you?
are you serious? I am both royal and rich. What could she possibly not like? That must be her. Come on. Your Highness, I am Prince Ernst, and I come bearing greetings and birthday wishes from Germany.
Welcome, Prince Ernst, to Kensington Palace and my birthday festivities. I trust your journey was uneventful?
Quite, Your Highness, except for this little run-in with a bear. I said, unless you want to decorate my floors with your hide.
And who might this be?
Prince Albert, Your Highness. Rumors of your exquisite beauty have reached our shores, but they pale in comparison to standing in your presence.
I beg your pardon, Your Highness. My younger brother can be a bit presumptuous.
No need to apologize. We welcome you both to my party. Albert. Wonderful, handsome Albert. How my heart skipped a beat meeting you this day. How long until I see or hear from you again, my love?
I beg your pardon, Your Highness, but I thought you might want to take this.
My dearest Victoria, I beg your forgiveness for not saying goodbye to you this evening, but I must return to Germany as some pressing business has arisen. I would request the honor of writing to you each week as I long to learn more about you. I thank the heavens for bringing me to you and wish you the happiest of birthdays. Albert. P.S. Ernst says hello.
Tell him I would be delighted.
Yes, Your Highness.
True to his word, Albert wrote to Princess Victoria each and every week. His letters, while humorous and witty, were always full of comforting words and encouragement for the young princess. So much so that she often remarked to her advisors that Germany must be the height of optimism and positivity. As the weeks turned into months, Victoria and Albert's long-distance relationship flourished, with each relying on the other for support and companionship. And then one day...
1,000 pardons, my lord, but a letter has arrived from London.
Oh no.
With the death of her uncle, King William IV, Victoria would be propelled into the national spotlight and become England's youngest queen at the age of 18. Victoria was officially coronated 1 year later at Westminster Abbey, amid a throng of endearing subjects. As the young Victoria assumed her royal duties as queen, she would continue to seek increased advice and comfort from Albert, and he was more than happy to oblige.
Any word, Lord Melbourne?
I'm afraid not, Your Majesty.
I don't understand. It's not like Albert to not respond for so long. I know. Send a royal messenger to his father.
Your Majesty, I do not think...
I'm not asking you to think, my Lord Melbourne. I'm asking you to act. I need to hear from my Albert.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Albert! We are most pleased to see you, Prince Albert.
And that is our cue.
What news from Germany?
Several states of affairs I wish to consult with your majesty about.
Of course, of course. Oh, Albert, how I have missed you.
And I you. Victoria.
You mean Queen Victoria.
Precisely.
Afternoon tea is prepared, Your Majesty.
Please ensure an extra setting for our guest.
I've already taken the liberty, my queen.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't here when your uncle passed away.
It was quite a shock. Not so much his passing, but the responsibilities I've incurred as a result of it.
You've done a magnificent job, from what I hear.
Is that right?
Oh, yes.
And what is it that you hear, I wonder?
That you have the complete adoration of your British subjects.
Just them?
And at least one German one.
Can I ask you something, Albert?
Of course.
What would you say if I asked you to marry me?
Marry you?
Yes.
Well, we both know that it is improper for a man to ask for the hand of the queen.
That's not what I mean, Albert.
Oh? You're asking if I would accept?
Yes, I'm asking if you would accept.
Can I think about it?
Absolutely. You can think about it in the stocks.
Well, since you put it that way.
Is that a yes?
No, that is a resounding yes.
The day Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were married, the country came to a standstill and joined in the historical wedding celebration. Adoring subjects lined the streets to Buckingham Palace, offering cheers and well wishes to the newly married couple as they passed. For their part, the royal couple quickly settled into the new routine of balancing their personal lives with the duties of state.
We have to stop meeting like this.
Official business today, I'm afraid, my love.
Wouldn't the throne room be more appropriate for a business discussion?
Not this kind of business, Albert.
I don't understand. You're...
Pregnant, yes.
This is wonderful!
Parenthood came naturally to the happy couple, and it wasn't long until more children would come to grace the halls of Buckingham Palace.
Children, stop! Oh, my.
The size of the royal family grew to include 9 children, but as the family grew, it took an increasing toll on Queen Victoria's ability to manage even the simplest of affairs.
Blue or green, my love?
I think the blue complements your eyes most admirably.
What would I do without you, my Albert?
You are a strong, beautiful, and courageous woman. Something tells me you would do just fine.
I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I fear that I would live a life of continual grief and despair.
Yes, well, no need for that kind of talk on a day such as today. Now, these documents need to be signed and returned to the Prime Minister by Tuesday, and these are needing your signature here and here before being forwarded to... Are you listening?
I think you may need to speak to Albert Edward. He's playing so rough all the time.
I love you, Victoria. You know that. But you are the Queen of England, and your guidance is what is needed for the country right now.
What are you saying, Albert? I know you are not suggesting that I am somehow derelict in my duties as sovereign.
Victoria, I can only do so much. It is you who the country needs to govern.
Enough! I remain, as I always have, loyal to England and her people. Do not mistake your assistance in governing as governing itself.
I fear this has been too much for you.
What has been too much? Speak plainly.
Do not be so proud as to assume that a queen cannot be overwhelmed.
Queen Victoria's reliance upon her husband to govern official affairs of state had come to a head and often resulted in arguments between them. But their intense love for each other would always overcome their differences, proving to their family and their country that duty and love should go hand in hand.
I was thinking that we should spend this Christmas at Windsor. The children have always loved it there. What do you think?
Yes, I think that would be quite nice.
Good. You look a bit peaked, love. Are you feeling ill?
A bit. I think I'll retire early tonight.
I'll have your tea sent up.
As Christmas neared in 1861, Albert's health, which had been in steady decline, took a turn for the worse. Albert's physician diagnosed the prince with typhoid fever.
The doctor says you're going to pull through this just fine.
Victoria. You were never a good liar.
Please don't leave me, Albert. I can't live without you.
I will always be with you, my love.
No, Albert! 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 Albert!
Albert died surrounded by the family he loved. He was 42 years old. Out of respect for Prince Albert, the whole country was swathed in black. Shops were shuttered, blinds drawn, and flags were flown at half-mast. The Christmas of 1861 was one of the gloomiest ever seen in England. From this day forward, Queen Victoria would only wear black clothing as a symbol of her eternal mourning for the love of her life. Once the initial shock of Albert's death had receded, the far more pressing question in everyone's minds, particularly those in government, was how will the Queen bear it?
The Queen has not arrived yet?
No, Prime Minister Russell.
The Queen has not been in attendance since.
I understand.
I'm sorry, Prime Minister, but I'm afraid the Queen is not feeling well today. Perhaps you could come by tomorrow and...
I told you I was not to be disturbed.
I'm sorry, my Queen, but...
But nothing. I'm the Queen, and you will obey my command.
Yes, you are Queen, Your Majesty, and there are a great many duties awaiting your attention.
I can't, John.
You can and you must, my liege.
Tell me how. How I, who leaned on him for all and everything, and without whom I did nothing, moved not a finger, arranged not a print or photograph, didn't put on a gown or bonnet without his approval. How am I to live, to move, to help myself in difficult moments, let alone rule a kingdom?
I know this is difficult right now, but your country needs you.
So broken was Queen Victoria over the death of her Albert that she stopped going to court and attending functions altogether. Instead, The Queen immersed herself in reliving the daily routines associated with their marriage. As the years passed, Victoria's absence from public life began to worry the British people. Oblivious to the criticisms of the public, her advisors, and family members, Victoria continued to grieve. Blind with age and grief, Victoria demanded that Albert's dressing gown and a plaster of his hand be laid beside her on her deathbed.
Albert,
Victoria,
I've missed you so.
I know. Come, we have much to talk about.
Queen Victoria's death ushered in the end of the Victorian era and paved the way for her eldest son, Bertie, to assume the throne as King Edward VII. Queen Victoria would be laid to rest next to her beloved Albert, with whom she shared the greatest love story the British monarchy had ever known.